What exactly is inflation? Sure, you could say that's just stuff getting more expensive. But have you ever experienced not being able to afford basic necessities, or getting laid off, being unable to support your own family? This is inflation. Every year, the Canadian government measures inflation with the Consumer Price Index, also known as the CPI. Imagine a large basket full of thousands of goods and services which are bought by Canadians yearly. By comparing the cost of the basket from last year to the cost of this year's basket times 100, we can get the CPI. Looking at the Canadian CPI chart, you will instantly notice the surge of inflation in 2020. This is due to the pandemic. Once again in June 2022, because of the economy finally opening up again, affordability worsens. The inflation rate has gone up by 8% since 2020. This means that a caramel macchiato from Starbucks would have been $5 in 2020, but now for the same amount of coffee, almost $6. The problems citizens face from inflation can be detrimental. To better understand how inflation affects people, we've interviewed some small businesses in our hometown, Chilliwack, BC.
My name is Catherine Taylor, and I own Cerebella's Gluten Free.
I'm Amaryllis Mejia Sanchez, and my business is Spring Cha, and I make handmade jewelry.
I love working with people, both the staff and the customers, and being able to provide something that isn't accessible in this city otherwise. Inflation has just driven food costs really high, which makes it very hard to offer competitive pricing when competing with big stores like Starbucks and Tim Hortons and stuff.
Inflation to me is basically just an increase in prices.
Cerebella's has been open for 6 years, and we've felt it the most probably since COVID, when things just started changing, and it's not gotten better, only gotten worse.
I started a couple months ago, and I started to feel the inflation when I was buying the supplies for like the different products and jewelry I was starting to make.
I didn't notice inflation very much before the pandemic. We were a new business before then. We were only operating for about 3 years before it happened, so we were just getting our bearings anyways. And then since then, costs have just skyrocketed, and it's made it so hard to make affordable food.
I think basically I haven't been in this like small business, I guess, industry for that long, but I've been finding that like buying and just finding beads and good quality materials has been like pretty difficult, especially like at a good price.
With the cost of everything, cost of living right now, I do think it's important to raise the minimum wage so that people can actually afford to live. But as a small business owner, it has been a struggle having to increase wages every time that happens, but I do think it is necessary. I think that people should have a more like small business focused mindset when it comes to where they spend their money, and spending their money with local small businesses instead of supporting the big boxes, because they are making tons of money, and the local businesses are really what supports your community, and they're the ones with investments in the community, and they live here, they work here, they actually care about the city in a way that the big companies just don't.
I think that community members are interested in supporting small businesses, and I think it's hard with inflation because people are like, oh, we have to find ways to save money. And so, for instance, like there's been times where for birthday gifts and Christmas gifts, I'll be like, I'm just gonna support small businesses. And then when you start to look at like, okay, am I really gonna do my whole Christmas shop just at these small businesses? It's gonna get too expensive. So I think lots and lots of people really want to support, but inflation is kind of like holding them back, or they're kind of like, they can't really afford it. So I think, I mean, I don't know what kind of jurisdiction, like, you know, like the city of Chilliwack would have, but having higher minimum wage and having more affordable housing is definitely ways that people could save money and then be supporting small businesses more.
How can the community and the Chilliwack Council support small businesses?
They can put up more advertisement for them, post about them more, get them into community events, that sort of thing.
It's difficult to find an exact answer to what the Chilliwack Council can do to support Chilliwackian citizens and businesses. If we be more mindful and choose to support the smaller businesses when given a chance, we'll be able to make a change. A simple follow on Instagram, getting your daily coffee from a small cafe instead of Starbucks, choosing local restaurants over fast food. Every small decision can lead to a change.